everybody, so today I'm doing two fragrances from the house of Xerjoff. We have Xerjoff Naxos, which is this one here, so that's Naxos, and we're also going to be talking about Xerjoff 1861, which is a recent addition to my collection, a lovely birthday present from my 40th birthday. So I have done a spray of 1861 Renascence here, and I've done a spray of Naxos here, and that was about 5 or 10 minutes ago. So let's have a slurp of coffee. Yum. And then let's get on with it. So I've had Naxos in my collection for well over a year now. I really love the smell of Naxos. The first time I smelled it, I'll always remember I was in Harrods on a fragrance meetup with some fraggy friends, and we smelled tons and tons of stuff that day. Just in Harrods alone we smelled so much, and nothing was blowing me away. I mean, I think that's what happens when you're really into fragrances and you think, right, I'm going to go where there's loads and loads to smell, and then I think you smell so much that nothing really jumps out at you, because probably if you just smelt a few things, you could then analyse them a bit better and you'd realise that something smells really amazing, something really works for you. But when you're smelling so much stuff, nothing really ends up standing out. But with Naxos, that was different. It was the only fragrance that day where I was straight away on my phone trying to figure out how I could get myself a bottle for cheaper, because the retail price was quite high. Anyway, it took me a little while, and I ended up buying a partial bottle on one of the fragrance groups for a very good price. So and that was obviously this, and I think it was up to about here when I got it. So I've definitely used quite a lot. I've put it in decants, taking it on holiday. I love it all year round. I think it's amazing in the hot sun and in the freezing cold. It does its shit, and it does it really well. I have reviewed it before. How do I explain it? It smells kind of, it's like there's kind of a woody coconutty thing going on in there, but this rich, slightly honeyed, I think there is honey and cinnamon in there, but it doesn't smell directly like you're smelling a jar of honey. It smells like it's like white florals have been macerated in honey, if that makes any sense. It's a very honeyed sort of floral, slightly sweet, spicy smell. Now it gets compared with Amen's Pure Havane. I don't really think it's that close. I can see some similarities. I actually find it closer to Bogart Pour Homme, believe it or not. And yeah, it's not the same, but it's quite similar, because it's a very tobacco-y kind of smell as well with Naxos, as there is in Bogart Pour Homme. But Naxos is definitely stronger and sweeter. I mean, Bogart Pour Homme's pretty strong, but Naxos definitely tips it. Naxos has one of the best performances of every fragrance that I own. There's only about 2 that I would say it's stronger than. Less stronger than. It's really strong. My only complaint with Naxos, and the only reason I don't reach for it a lot, is because it doesn't change much on my skin. And something that I really appreciate in fragrances is that the way that they change on your skin, so that you don't get bored, you know, because when you've got a fragrance that has an amazing longevity like Naxos, it can actually get a bit annoying 5, 6, 7 hours in, and it still smells exactly the same as when you first sprayed it. I do like my fragrances to change, so that's the only negative, is it can actually get boring, but it does smell really fucking awesome. So the fact that it's linear shouldn't put you off, and as I say, it doesn't put me off. I love it, but it just stops me wearing it all the time or that often, because I know that sometimes I get bored of it, and because it's projecting all the time as well, so it's not like it's a good longevity but doesn't project much. You know, it projects quite well all the way through. So, you know, 10 hours in, you're still projecting. It's amazing, but as I say, it can get a bit boring. And that's really all there is to say. It's kind of sweet, honeyed, slightly floral, slightly coconutty, but not like, don't be put off by that. I don't even know if coconut is officially in there. It's just got that kind of suntan lotion feel to it. Anyway, so that's Naxos. So really, really love Naxos. And then let's move on to 1861. So here's the bottle again. I really love the engraving that you get on the bottle. It's really pretty. It's attention to detail. I think we all love a bit of attention to detail. These bottles are now, they don't make them anymore. There's a new bottle. It actually looks really nice. But I'm quite happy to have this one. So this is an eau de parfum concentration, but it isn't quite as strong as Naxos. Now, what I love about 1861 is it smells so natural. It smells like a bowl of freshly cut fruits, watery fruits, you know, like real fresh fruits. So you've definitely got citruses in there, but I feel like there's other fruits, like more like maybe there's watermelon or grapefruit, and probably tropical fruits that I don't even know what they look like or smell like, if that makes any sense. And maybe there's even a tiny little hint of cucumber. Not that I can specifically smell cucumber, but I get the watery effect that cucumber gives. So very much a watery, fresh fruit smell. What this one does though is this does have a changeability on your skin. So you start off smelling these watery fruits, but it does gently undulate on your skin and it does change. And over time, sometimes on my skin, actually far in the deep dry down, it goes a bit slightly resinous and sticky. So I've got some labdanum, so that's what I feel like I could smell sometimes on my skin, is like this sticky labdanum, which is lovely. I really love labdanum. If you're not familiar with it, or you're not sure if you can recognise it in fragrances, it's kind of hard. If you actually see labdanum, it's brown and sticky. If you pull some out of the bottle, it will have like a string because it's sticky. It's kind of like a resin, and it smells slightly sweet, slightly woody, and ever so slightly medicinal. I've got Le Maroc Port Elle. It comes out really beautifully in the dry down, and I think that's when I first recognised labdanum. I don't know if it's in 1861, but I just got that slightly sticky labdanum feel in the dry down. Sometimes almost caramelized kind of. It's almost like you took the bowl of fruits and then you got a top chef who really knew what he was doing, and got him to caramelize those fruits, but he actually caramelizes them on your skin. It's really, really lovely. So 1861, the longevity I get from it is a full working day. So with Naxos, I get the whole fucking day and the whole fucking night. With 1861, I get the full working day. So what I mean by that is I spray it on at home, I'll do my drive to work, it will last me the whole day, 8 hours at work, and then the drive home too. So it's still really, really excellent. And it projects well enough, like not as good as Naxos again. First couple of hours you're projecting quite well, and then it's closer to the skin but not a skin scent. As you move around you can smell it, and I love it. So most people will feel like 1861 is a summer scent, and I think the jury's out on Naxos. The consensus in Fragcom seems to be varied. Some people feel like it's more summery, other people seem to think it's great in the winter. I know for a fact it's great any season. But I will also be wearing, I wore this, it's October now, so it's a bit chilly, but I wore 1861 this week because I love it, and I get just as great performance in the cooler weather as I do in the summer. In fact, sometimes I think the hot weather just kills fragrances, regardless of whether they're fresh or I think the heavier ones actually last better in the summer, but you might not feel like wearing them, that's all. So anyway, 1861 versus Naxos. It's not really a fair fight. They're two very different fragrances, but I just wanted to highlight them. They're the two Xerjoffs that I've fallen in love with. I've smelt a few. I know More Than Words gets a lot of love. Ivory Root, Herba, Pura, and yeah, there's loads that get a lot of love from the house, but a lot of them are a bit much for me. They're a bit heavy, or they can contain oud, which I don't like. They can just be a bit too, I guess I'm not really into very sort of the Arabian kind of market of fragrances. Lots and lots of incense and spices and oud and all that stuff. They don't work for me. They overwhelm my nostrils. But these two are really, really great. So I love them both. If I had to give one of them up, which one would it be? Don't make me do that. Oh fuck, I don't know. I guess, do you know what? I would, as much as it pains me, I would give up Naxos to keep Renascence 1861, only because I will reach for that a whole lot more. It's a much more versatile fragrance, and I was, you know, in terms of how they smell, they both smell really, really good. Maybe even Naxos slightly pips the post for its originality, but this one's going to get a whole lot more wearing. So if we did have a battle, ooh, then 1861 is the winner. Thanks for watching.